Hi there everyone, this is Kelly Gettelfinger with Always Stampin' Videos. Today I'm stamping for Split Coast Stampers and you. I'm going to show you how to create the mini wrap journal. Basically you can turn any journal into a wrap journal with simply using some twine. And so you'll understand that as the video goes along. And I will get started. So let me show you my mini wrap journals that I've created from a pack of 6x6 paper. I love using this paper for my mini wrap journals because well, it's just the perfect size, and so I can utilize the entire piece of paper for the front and back cover and create a really cute little journal. So this one here is the one that is in the photographed tutorial on Split Coast Stampers and my blog. And I've just got it held together with a little handmade scrunchie, little plastic elastic scrunchie. So in the inside you can add typing paper, decorative paper, cardstock, whatever you like for your pages. And so this one has one of my handmade planners or calendars. So that's the first part of this particular journal. And then the back part of this journal, I've added cardstock. So I'm going to create a little mini album in the back of my planner here. And so this would be great for a vacation. If you wanted to keep memories, you could add a little planner in the front and maybe jot down your memories, and then in the back you would have area for your photographs. And then this one, put that back on there. And so this little mini wrap journal is just one that I just created for Valentine's Day. And so the front part of it is blank typing paper. And then the back part of it is cardstock, a mixture of cardstock and the decorative paper that comes in the 6x6 paper pack. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one yet, but I can keep it as a journal. I can use it as a scrapbook, little mini album, or just really kind of whatever you want to do, planner. Yeah, so let me show you how to get started making those, the mini wrap journal. All right, you're going to begin with 2 pieces of decorative paper. This is going to be your front cover and your back cover. And you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. One is going to measure 1/2 inch by 6 inches, and the other one will be 4.5 by 6 inches. Did I tell you how big the decorative paper is? It's going to be 5.5 by 6 inches. So you want to trim just 1/2 inch off of that decorative paper. And then, if you choose, you can add, like I said, any kind of pages to your mini wrap journal. And so you can have typing paper, cardstock, whatever you like. And so you're going to want several pieces that measure 5.5 by 8.5. Right? And so I've got some just plain typing paper there, and then I've got some cardstock that I'm going to show you how to insert that into your mini wrap journal. So 5.5 by 8.5 for those pages. All right, the first thing you'll do is score both pieces of your decorative paper 1 inch and 3/4 of an inch, or 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch from the edge, which is going to create your spine. And so I'm going to put this one, I want to make sure that the front and the back are how I want them to look as the book. I open it up, okay, and so that's the way I want it. And so this one, the top one, is going to get scored here on this edge. And so I'm going to put it at 4.5 inches or 1 inch and score it. And then just move it 1/4 of an inch and score it at 4 3/4, or basically 3/4. Okay, so I've got a 3/4 inch area here, and then the next score line is a 1 inch score. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this one, and I'm going to score it, the first one, at 4.5 or 1 inch, and then 4 3/4, which is actually 3/4 of an inch. So we've got 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch on both pieces of the decorative paper. Okay, and now the first piece, I'm gonna fold it on the score line that is closest to the edge. So that's gonna be the 3/4 inch score line, okay? And I'm gonna add that to my large piece of cardstock. So I'm just gonna line that scored area with adhesive and, whoops, match up the cardstock to it. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Almost looks like a little card. And then I'm gonna do the other side. I'm gonna fold it on the scored line closest to the edge. So then the other scored line is right here. I'm gonna add adhesive. And I'm gonna add that to the opposite side of the cardstock, okay? All right, so it looks like that. I've got my little seam here, and then I've got basically my journal right there, okay? And now I'm going to take some twine, and I like about 42 inches of twine to begin with. You may want more. You may find you might need less. And you're just gonna wrap that twine around the cardstock here in the center, right? And just, I like to wrap it at least 3 times. Again, you might want more, you might want less. I actually think I can get one more wrap out of it. Maybe. It's tight, no. All right, I'm gonna pull that tight, and then I'm just gonna tie it off. Now I like doing this size of a mini wrap journal because the inside pages are just half sheets of 8.5 by 11 whatever, cardstock, typing paper, and so it's easy. I can just cut that in half, fold it, and I've got pages for my mini wrap journal. But you can make a mini wrap journal any size you like. And so now you can understand what I said in the beginning of the video, that any journal can be turned into a wrap journal with just a little bit of twine. So I've just wrapped that twine around the center of my journal, and that's what's going to create the mini wrap journal. Now I'll insert pages, see, that will create the actual book, the actual journal. And I'll show you that in just a minute, but let me just go ahead and finish this off. I'm going to trim up that twine there. And now, remember the other score line that we had here, we're going to fold those. And this is going to create our spine to our journal. So I'm folding those and bring in that 1/2 inch piece of cardstock. I'm going to line that with adhesive, and I kind of want to put a bunch on it because I want it to be good and sticky to that spine. And so this is just going to cover up that little area there that has our scored line and our connection. So I'm just going to line that down the spine, and it just gives it a nice finished look for our journal, okay? Whoops. Okay, so now is when I get to add my pages. And so if I'm using cardstock, then I may, I'm going to put all the pieces together, fold them over. This might be where you want to use a bone folder to really kind of flatten it. I do it all at once, and then that way they seem to line up better. And then I can just slip these pages right under the twine, and that creates multiple pages in my book. And so, for example, again, here's another little calendar that I've created. And so I'm going to slip those under the other portion of the twine. And now I've got, in the back part of my book, I've got my little calendar or my planner. You can even use half sheets of just notebook paper. And so I can make this journal grow. I can remove pages and put new ones in if I want to. I can just keep adding and adding and adding. And so, like I said, as you can see, by using a little handmade scrunchie, you can make it as fat as you want or as small as you want. And yeah, there you have it. That is the mini wrap journal. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a creative day.